Welcome to Drive Equals Balance. My name is Dan and you're about to see a Mod 2 test route wherever I am in the description below. Now, the good thing about this video is what you're going to see is a clear commentary that's going to help you, things that the examiner is looking for, and I'm going to use my experience. I've been an instructor for 10 years, yeah, and I've seen a lot. Trust me, I've seen a lot. So I'm going to use my experience over the last 10 years to give you tips, hints and tricks on how you can pass your Mod 2 around the UK. This is going to be a test route series of different, lifesaver, of different test routes all around the UK. So wherever it is in the description below, check it out. If you've got any comments, if you've got anything you'd like to ask, any questions about Mod 2 or Mod 1, put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I want to help you guys. Let's get it going. The story here is toilet facilities are out of water due to flood inside the building. Motorcycle tests only. Welcome to Uxbridge Test Centre. We're on a very dirty Super Duke GT. We're going to do a Mod 2 test ride here in Uxbridge. This is one of my home test centres, so I know this test area very well. We're going to use the Cali Moto app again because I think it's just brilliant. I've been able to map something out and then use it, and you guys can use it also. Things to note about this test centre: because of the flood that's happened here, because the office is no longer usable, it means for you guys, you're outside. There's nowhere to put your kit, nowhere to put your helmet, nowhere to stay dry. I did talk to one of the examiners and he said if it is wet, if you are cold, they can't open the first door, but realistically there is nowhere. You are outside in all the elements. If you're coming to Uxbridge Test Centre, dress warm. It's been like this, he told me it's been like this since October of 2025. He reckons it will be like this until April of 2026. What? So think about that. Really do think about that when you come here. Make sure you dress warm. Bring layers. Other things to note in this area is very, very industrial. You'll see here, you got the massive industrial units here, and there's lots and lots of lorries. When I came in, there was a lorry going out and a lorry parked up. There's nowhere for me to go and I'm on a motorbike. So I'm going to give this test centre a rating of 1. All right, check my mirrors and off we go. So we're making our way down here. We see this van parked up, lights are on, no one's home. Where is the person who's delivering? Ah, there he is on the phone. Okay, sweet. So we'll make our way around. Have a look at that island in the middle of the road, just there with no sign on it. You could miss that. Yeah, so you want to be really careful. Now this next bit catches people out all the time. We're going to turn right at this roundabout. And because of the traffic, we can't actually turn right. So we'd wait here, but it's just around the corner there. We've got a box junction. And this box junction catches out multiple people every week. Okay, they're going. And you can see them using the roundabout the wrong way. Okay. So if it wasn't busy and you came down here, you could potentially see a green light. Now for me it's traffic, but for you it might not be traffic. And if you did see the green light, prepare for it to go to red. Prepare for it to change. Because if it changes and you stop in that yellow box, it's going to be a fail. Now, where we're going from here, we're going to be going ahead. You should be able to see from here on the POV that there's a 20 sign just down there. Okay, so that's a 20 gate. But the road we're on now is 10 miles an hour. So when we go down there, we will see the change for 20. This 20 is weird because you don't see any further 20s to remind you that you're still in a 20. So it can be a little bit cheeky because if you miss those 20s, if you miss that 20 gate down there, you can go into that road that's 20 and then seemingly there's nothing. And then you go, is it 20 or is it 30? You know? So once we get down there, once we get this sort of started, then we can have a go. Here we're moving, so check my mirrors. The old Arai RX-7, he knows what it's all about. So I'm going to go through that, but I've just got to keep going. There we see the 20 gate. Okay, this road they like to use a lot to get you to stop on the left-hand side. And that could be either direction. So we could be coming down here, going toward the test centre, or leaving, going away from the test centre. But they do like to use this road in order to do that, you know, stopping here on the left or something like that. I will point something out only because I know this area, yeah? So I'm going to point something out for you guys. But check this one. So you're not seeing any 20 signs, yeah? And then have a look there, the 30 gate, but the road looks identical. So it's weird how that side road, which arguably you're going to ride slower because there's a bend, is 30, but this road is 20 miles an hour. Now, if I was on test, would I really want to sneak behind that van? No, I wouldn't, yeah? There's too many complications if I do that. So here, stopping, giving them plenty of room is the right thing to do, yeah? If we've got to go backwards, then we've stopped too close. Check my mirrors and off I go. Nice. So when you've got a vehicle that is across the road like that, you want to make sure you stop in good time and allow them to do their weird maneuver. Here we see the gate, 30 either side. So now we know we're going into a 30. Very easily missed that one. Check my mirrors, signal left shoulder, and I'm moving over to the left-hand side. Have a look here. You should be able to see from complete flat, we've got quite a steep hill start just here. There's no way you'd know that. That's like, just comes out of absolute nowhere. And it's super, super steep. Closed road, closed junction as well. Okay, nice and clear. All right. And then you've got to have good control, otherwise you could end up on the other side of the road there. Yeah? So we need to have that good U-turn control. I know I keep banging on about it in my videos. There will be a U-turn video to explain exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're in the 30 now, doing 29 miles an hour, third gear. Triangle sign for schools, and the time being 2:40. There could potentially be a school kicking out shortly on this road ride that we're going to do here. Up ahead at the roundabout, we're going to take the second exit right. So we take that second exit right. And looking beyond, so where the exit is down there, we can see another speed sign gate just after the roundabout, national speed limit. This road is a single carriageway, so it makes this road 60 miles an hour. Yeah, this road is a 60 mile an hour road. Now the vehicle in front is not doing that. They're barely doing 30 miles an hour. So we've got to do the best we can with this vehicle in front. There isn't space to overtake. It would be unsafe to overtake. We've got a bend over there. So we're really stuck at 30 miles an hour because this vehicle in front hasn't seen the speed sign. If this is the case on test, you can relax. There's nothing else you can do about it. But if this road was clear, you'd be wanting to make good progress. Yeah, you'd definitely be wanting to make good progress here. Where this car has decided to really plonk themselves at 30 miles an hour, literally there's nothing. There's too many blind bends for us to be able to see to safely overtake. Well, there's a few potholes on this road, I tell you that. Triangle sign for bends. Now we've got a 40 gate coming up, so check the signs there, check my mirrors. Got that big VW behind me, but this car is still deciding to do 30 miles an hour. Slightly increasing the pace now that they've seen a 40 sign. Now we're at 34 miles an hour. Let me just check my following distance as they pass this lamppost here. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. So like 2.5 seconds really between me and the car in front. Now this is where they could do the independent ride. They could ask you to follow signs for either. That's something they do here, but we're actually going to be turning right at the roundabout. We can see another gate here, 30 miles an hour. I mean, we've been doing 30 the whole time thanks to this vehicle in front, but 30 miles an hour, going to be turning right. You can see that bike scroll up ahead. And there are multiple test routes at every test centre, so I'm just doing one at each test centre, but there's probably about 10 to 15 test routes for each test centre. Double roundabout here, so you've got to do a right at one and then a right at the other. Yes, you've got to treat them as two separate roundabouts, even though they come together and they will be spoken about as together. Yeah, we still treat double roundabouts as separate roundabouts. And in fact, that has reminded me, in Uxbridge there are multiple places where there are multiple roundabouts next to each other. Here we're turning right at the mini roundabout. So what I mean by that is you'll see lots and lots of double roundabouts or big roundabouts put together. Yeah, two roundabouts put together. So we just had one, and look at this sign up here. You're going to see another one, and that's exactly what I mean. Yeah. So here we're going to turn left at the first roundabout and then right at the second roundabout. Yeah. But there's our double roundabout again. So checking my mirrors, put my left signal on, lifesaver, moving over to the left hand side, looking at the, I can see it's clear. Nice and clear. And then once I've done the first left, I'm going to go all the way over to the right in preparation for this next roundabout. Have a look at the roundabout there. It's got a solid white line all the way around it. So you want to make sure you go around the solid white line and not over the solid white line. Yeah? Got my fingers crossed we can make it through here, because it does say the road is closed, but it doesn't say where. Cool. Okay, this is normally where they get you to stop. So if I was going to stop on the left, I'd probably pick where that lady in red is. So I'm going to do that. Mirrors, signal, lifesaver, moving over to the left hand side, and then stopping on the left. Nice. From here, cancel my signal, make sure I get that cancelled, and then we can ride on. So check my mirrors, signal, lifesaver, and then I can ride on again. Yeah? I've got my fingers crossed that I can make it through this closed road. Okay. And I can't. Okay. So, not a problem, not an issue. We just won't be able to do that particular part there. That's fine. And if you, like I said, if you go the wrong way, or if a road is closed, then the examiner will redirect you. It doesn't go against you. There's nothing wrong with that. So we'll pick back up the test route that I've set on Kalimoto. Again, another vehicle across the road like that. We'll let them go. We're going to be turning right at the roundabout, so check my mirrors, put my signal on. Nice. Again, going around the outside of that roundabout rather than crossing that solid white line. Okay, so no signs here, yeah? So the road must be 30 miles an hour. We've got that lorry ahead of us. There's not a lot we can see. I can see a flashing Belisha beacon on the right-hand side. So there's a zebra crossing there. Let me make sure that both sides are clear. They are, but you have this like little sort of fake kid there, so be mindful of that. Yeah, they do it for a reason, to get you to double check. Okay, so we're going to pick up for the 40 now, or well, we know we're in a 40, we're not necessarily going to pick up. We're going to turn left here, turning left, so we're going to go against what Kalimoto is saying. We're only going to turn left because we've can't continue that route. This is really close to Pinewood Studios, and we would have done a slightly different thing on this roundabout. So check my mirrors, left signal, and here we can say thank you with a head nod. Yeah, what we can't do is go, hi, thank you. Yeah, that's not something we can do. We can't take our hands off the handlebars. So we're turning left here, looking nice and early, giving the lorry some room. Watching out for all the potholes here, gosh. Okay, remember the last speed we saw was 40 miles an hour, so that makes this road currently 40 miles an hour. And then we're gonna, there we see the 40 repeater sign there. We're gonna be turning right, so check my mirrors, signal, and there's them going out on test. And now we're in a 30 gate. So, turning right. Give them plenty of room. And here, because we've got only enough room for one car, this is the meet and greet scenario. We want to make sure, look at that learner driver indicating to join the road. We want to make sure in this meet and greet scenario that we don't force someone to change speed or direction, i.e. we don't make them brake, we don't make them swerve. How do we do that? We slow down a little bit, 24 and 30, and I just make sure that any time I can't see, I give myself time in order to see. Like here, I can't see, so I've slowed right down, 16 miles an hour. Nice, and then we can keep it going. Roundabout. Nice and clear. Okay, great. So we can keep it going here. So, turning left. Lifesaver. Move over here. And each time you see with my routine, I'm always making sure that I let people, that I show the examiner what I'm doing. Yeah, if I'm checking my mirrors, I'm not checking my eyeballs, I'm checking with my entire head. Mirror, lifesaver, and I can move out. Doesn't need a signal, it does need an observation. Okay. Here, we're going to go down to the end of the road. At the end, we're turning right. We've got cars parked on our side of the road, oncoming traffic, 2 cars. Checking my mirror, no one behind us. So I'm going to check my mirror once more. Lifesaver, and I can move out. Yeah, in good time, good distance away from the vehicles. Okay, then we've got a 40 sign coming up. So we're going into a 40, we're turning right here. I'm in the 3rd position. Right, it's letting me go. It's great. If somebody flashes you to go, that's fine. Make sure that you still have a look. Yeah? Because it's your responsibility at the end of the day to make sure that it's safe for you to go. Sometimes people will flash you and it's not safe from the other side. Yeah? So it's very, very important that you still check to make sure it's safe to go. Okay? Hugely important. All right. So we're in that 40, I'm doing 39 miles an hour. We see the 30 there. Check my mirrors. I'm going to just lightly squeeze on that front brake, just to turn the light on to let anyone know behind that I'm braking. Here, as I go around the bend, I can follow position 2. Looking ahead, it says slow in the road. Okay. Got another bend and another slow in the road. Okay, so it said it twice in a really short space of time. Why would it say that? This is the things that we want to be looking at before we get to, like here, we can't really see. The triangle sign says the 2 lanes are narrowing, oncoming vehicles in the middle of the road. So if there's a large vehicle, like bus or a coach, it could be on our side of the road. So you'd want to slow down ahead of time, want to know that ahead of time. Cool. Here is where I'm going to slightly change the route, because obviously we missed the other bit. Yeah, so I'll show you this other little cheeky part. Look, there's the coach. This other little cheeky part that sometimes comes up in the Uxbridge test area. So we're going to turn right here. We'll turn right. The bus is turning left, so we can turn right. Again, we've got that solid white line around the roundabout. Now there's a bus in the bus stop. No signals at all. Fine, we're good. We're doing 30 miles an hour. We've got the flashing police beacons for the crossing, flashing for the school. So we are now within school time. The time is 2:55. So schools are going to be kicking out shortly. So we've got to keep our eyes and wits about us. Have a look here. Passing this school now, we can see a couple cars with brake lights on. Traffic behind the bus, 20 miles an hour. I wouldn't even want to go faster than this. Yeah. Even if I was allowed, which I am, the road's 30. And then once you've come out of that sort of school area, then we can begin to pick up the pace. So you see here, I've naturally increased to 27, 26 miles an hour. Great, and then I can pick that up there. So here we had what was a bit residential, from a country lane to residential. Nice. Have a look there in the bushes. If you do this commentary ride, you're gonna see hidden signs like that in the bushes. There's our gate, 40 miles an hour. Check our mirrors, and off we go. We're gonna be turning left just before the roundabout. I apologise if you're trying to follow the sat nav on the screen, but yeah, I'm gonna turn left just before the roundabout. Slowing it right down, going down through the gears. There's our 30 gate just there. So we've gone from 40 to 30. And notice it's literally on the junction. So just as you're turning left, when you're thinking about controlling the bike, not pushing it out to the other side of the road, there is a speed change. So it's really important when you're doing mod 1 that you get your control absolutely nailed. So it means that when you're on the road, you're not thinking about how you control the bike. You can begin to think about how you navigate the road. That is so important. Yeah, you don't want to be thinking about how do I control this motorbike. Here we got a 40 gate. You notice this is in a straight line. Yeah, check my mirrors, pick up my pace. We're going to see that again. We're going to see a speed change in a straight line again on this test route. Here now, country lanes. Think about how you're going to enter the corner. Think about what speed you're going to enter the corner with. How much can I see? Not a lot. So I back off the speed. Yeah, I'm slowing it down. Even though it says 40, I can only ride within the distance I can see. Then there I've got a humpback bridge. So now I'm going to take my time. So 20 miles an hour, 18 miles an hour. It seems appropriate. Check this little nugget out. You might see it, you should see it on camera, that massive yellow tunnel there. This catches people out all the time. Remember, we're in a 40, changing to 30. We see the 30 sign hidden in the bush there. What happens if a massive van comes from the other side? This is two-way, believe it or not. So 10 miles an hour feels appropriate until you can see, and then we can pick up the pace. Yeah, so always approaching with appropriate speed. Very, very important. Okay, 30 miles an hour, we've seen the sign there. Checking my mirrors, we're turning left. Now we can begin to follow Moto again. I really like how it will adjust for whatever you've done. I really like that. Here, no speed signs. I know we've seen one there, and we saw one back there that was also 30. We've got the bicycle lane, so something to think about. And we see down there the green light. Now that's been green for some time. Expect it to change. We're turning left here. Yeah, we're going to turn left. Check our mirrors. Signal, and Moto will catch up with me eventually. Have a look what it says about cycle boxes. We can use them, but only in certain circumstances. It says we should not encroach on the cycle waiting area unnecessarily. So if you need to use it because you need that little extra bit to stop, you can go there. For example, I don't need the extra bit to stop here, so I shouldn't go in there. But let's say the light changed late, then I can stop in there. Legally, I can stop in there. Rule 178 of the highway code, that's what it is. Rule 178. Check my mirrors, off I go. And there's our gate, again in a straight line, but it is just after a traffic light. Yeah, so checking my mirrors, up to 40 I go. We've got 40 repeater in the bush. So this route actually is it's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad at all. It's well signed. If you use the commentary, then that will really help you out. Here, I mean, look, the 30 sign's got yellow backgrounds on it. Checking my mirrors, slowing down. Now, this can be an issue. We've got the priority, yeah, give way to oncoming traffic, and a give way sign in front of you. So because they're oncoming, I'm going to give way to them. Checking my mirror to see what's going on behind me. Now, I can probably make that. So I'm going to do that, yeah. So I can do it without affecting any of the oncoming traffic, so that's fine. When you see signs like that, especially when you've got to give priority, it can be rather difficult. Yeah, because I can show you on the video, and then when it comes to it, you might have a completely different scenario. We're going to turn left here, just because I remember this part. We're going to turn left and immediately right. So turning left here, quite tight there with the oncoming traffic, and then we're going to do a right. So we're doing major to minor right turn with no lane markings. Yeah. We've got Doris over there delivering our post. So we just, yeah, she's waiting for us. That's great. Cancel my signal there. So you really got to think about that, isn't it? I can't just mow in there with her going round to her car. If she chose to go to her car, then I kind of have to let her. Okay, check my mirror. I can come out. Now I can see all the way down this road. I can see it's clear. This is a road that get you to stop. We can stop here on the left. Let me pick a spot for you so we can do it. Check my mirrors, signal, lifesaver, move over to the left, and I'll stop here. I'm going to keep going, check my mirrors, signal, lifesaver, and pull away again. Yeah? So I can do stuff like that. We've got the oncoming cyclists. They're going to give way to us. That's great. And we're going to turn right at the end. Yeah, we're turning right at the end of the road. Have a look at this right turn here. It's a little bit awkward. This is why they bring you down here, because we've got an awkward right turn here straight into a meet and greet situation. Now you know that car's down there, so you know there can be no oncoming traffic, but something to think about. Yeah, again, if you're unsure about if your indicator's left on or not, press the button a couple of times. Yeah, then you know it's definitely off, but you can still keep your eyes down the road. Okay, that is so important. We're going to be turning left at the end of the road. Mirrors, signal. I'm really impressed with this Cali Moto app. Lifesaver, moving over here. It's open enough, isn't it? This would be an open junction. Great. So notice I did all my checks before I left the give way, so that when I left the give way, I was looking where I needed to be going. The road's still 30. Check here. We got 40 signs now. So pick up the pace. We're into a 40. This, to be honest, the test area is really nice. The worst thing about this is the fact you've got no test centre, no building anymore, because there's some flooding. Have a look at that stuff on the ground. If you can avoid it, always do. 40 repeater sign. Traffic lights are red. Okay, so we're checking our mirrors. Off we go. We do have a roadwork sign, but I can't yet see any roadworks. So it's something to bear in mind, something to think about, consider, keep your wits about you. Up ahead, looking way past the cars, yeah? I see the 30 signs saying I'm going into a 30. Now you will see lots and lots of car drivers looking at the vehicle in front. When they brake, I brake. and you'll see lots and lots of motorcyclists looking way down the road, way past the vehicle in front. And that's what we've got to be doing as riders. Yeah, we don't just want to be looking at the brake lights of the vehicle in front. That won't help us long term. Yeah, we're going to be turning right at this next roundabout. We're turning right for Uxbridge. This brings us back onto the original route where I sort of took us on a little diversion. Here, it looks like 40. It's not. It's 30. We haven't seen any signs yet. And look there. There's your 40 gate. Yeah, remember the gate is bigger. So this is the 40 gate. Check my mirrors. Now I can do 40. And here is the 40 repeater. Smaller. So make sure you don't get caught out where you go, oh, this looks like a 40, but it's not quite a 40-mile-an-hour road. Nice, so we're making good progress down here. This is good. And I've seen a few people fail on this bit of the road, and they fail because there's a cyclist, and instead of overtaking the cyclist swiftly on the straight, they've slowed down and stayed with the cyclist. So where we've got that bit in the middle of the road and we've got time, we've got room, we've got vision, use it. Yeah, if we were in a car, we'd do it anyway. So definitely on that stretch of road there, use it. Yeah, use the road, use the width. There we see the 30 gate, and here we've got a crest. Can you see the other side? No. Let's go position 1. Let's slow down. Now I can see the other side. Position 2 again, and I can pick up the pace. I've got the same thing again. Yeah, so again we've got another crest. So here I'm going to slow down, check my mirror, move over to position 1, because I've got no idea what's the other side. Nice and clear, and come back to position 2. Okay, we're going to be turning left at the traffic lights, but here is left and right. Yeah, Cali Motors turns left then right. Can you turn left from the right-hand lane? No is the answer. Yeah, so if that is the case, then I'm going to be in this lane. Let me get my left signal on. And let me show you how this bit should be done. Because this is not, there's nothing to tell you what happens here. But you know you're going to be turning right. We're doing left and right. Yeah, so if we're doing left and right, I'm going to go left. I'm looking at the lane markings. There's 2 lanes, so I'm going to go directly into the right-hand lane. I'm going to cancel the signal, press the button a few times, and then put it on a right signal. Yeah. If we stay in the left-hand lane, that then makes that hard. So again, if you do that commentary, that then helps you, because you'll pick up the fact that there's 2 roads. Here the light is green for everyone, so it's green for us. Did my lifesaver, I can make my turn nice and safely. Okay, nice. So as you go down this road, have a look at the chevron markings. Again, the signs will tell you. Here we've got max speed 20 just there. Because I want to see you do some form of slowing down. So I'm going to slow down a little bit, 24 miles an hour, make it through that bend. It's not actually that bad, but they'd want to see you taking the signs into account and doing something about those signs. Okay, nice. At the roundabout, we're gonna follow the road ahead, looking nice and early. It's nice and clear, we can keep it going. We can see the flashing police beacons of that pedestrian crossing down there, way down there. It's nice and clear, although we do have that lady on the left hand side, so I'll just take her into account as she's within the zigzag area. Yeah, so if you see any pedestrians within the zigzag area, you do want to take them into account. Cool, now that it's all clear, I can begin to lift up that pace again. Okay, here we're turning left, so mirror. signal. Slowing down nice and early, going down through the gears, stopping with a good distance away from the vehicle in front. Check my mirrors and off I go. Okay. So nice and chilled here. Now I'm just with the flow of traffic. Obviously, when you're with the flow of traffic, don't rely on knowing the speed to be with the flow of traffic. You should know the speed because you know the speed. At the roundabout, we're going to take the second exit, which is a right. So when I look on the map, it shows me it's beyond the 12 o'clock position. When I look at the sign, I think there's a sign here, but definitely it is a right-hand technique. And the examiner will probably say second exit right. So check my mirrors, put my right signal on, favour the right-hand side. We're going to go into the island of the roundabout. Left signal, left lifesaver, and then we can exit. So that right-hand technique, that's what we're always looking for if we need to go past the 12 o'clock position. So any exit past the 12 o'clock position is considered a right. Even though technically that was exit 2, it's still considered a right. Yeah, with that one, you've only got really 2 exits. Yeah, you've got left, you've got right, which is the second exit, and technically there is a third one, I guess, which is going back the way you came. But that means exit 2 and 3 are both rights. Okay, nice. Looking at the sign there, we see dual carriageway, and that's been blown about in the wind, so it's not actually facing us. It'd be really helpful if it was facing us, but it's not. We have this time here on the red light to sort of assess things. So we've got the red light, but we've also got a blue arrow, left only, and we're going into a dual carriageway, which means there's a central reservation, like there's a physical gap between the 2 opposing directions of traffic. Check my mirrors, off I go. And then we're into a 40s, have a look there, 40 gate. We're going to be turning left at this set of lights. So have a look here. Mirror, signal, lifesaver, move over, cancel the signal because you've got a junction, and then put the signal back on because you're turning left. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. All right, you can also, if it's easier for you, you can also just do mirror, lifesaver, move over if it's clear without the signal, because the junction is so close to this traffic light and you don't want it to be confused that you are turning into the junction. So we're turning left here. Have a look there. We've got schoolgirls on the crossing, which means school's kicked out. So as we go down this road, it's hugely important we now chill out, take our time. The road is 20. Yeah. This is the other place where the speed changes in a straight line. Check this out. Spoke about it before, but here it is now. Okay, we can see the gate there just on the top of the hill. Now you've also got the flashing Belisha beacons. That's probably going to take your attention, but just there in the bushes, we're turning right, just there in the bushes, you see the 230 gates. Yeah, very, very clear, but loads of people miss that, which means now this road, I'm not going to do it, this road is 30 miles an hour. So here it's the 30, you've got lots and lots of kids and people. Oh my gosh. Someone needs to teach his kids how to cross, because that was crazy. And I was only doing 15 miles an hour or less. So we take our time down here. We do not want to put ourselves in a bad position. Now, here, these parking bays on the left-hand side, in Uxbridge Test Centre, this is where they like to pull you up on the left-hand side. I'd recommend stopping down here somewhere. Yeah, during the day when you're going to test, obviously it's 3 o'clock now, but during the day where you're going to test, all of this area here is normally clear. So I would stop here rather than, there's a few dodgy places back there. Okay, crossing is clear both sides, nice. And we've got an oncoming cyclist, and we're going to be turning left. Check this left out. Yeah, check this left turn out. Turning left, so we've got a dead end if you go ahead, and then here you see the one-way gate. Got one-way arrow on the ground, and look, there's no more signs. Yeah, when we were in, where were we? When we were in Redditch, there were one-way street signs. There's no more one-way street signs here, just an arrow. We're going to turn right here. Okay, now if we're turning right from a one-way street, at the end we've got to position ourselves all the way over to the right. So we want to be over here and keep it going now. Yeah, that's where we want to be. We don't want to be in the traditional place in the middle to turn right, because that will be a fail for position. So be careful with that. We're almost back. Yeah, we're almost back. So because we're almost back, we do want to be thinking about keeping the concentration going. We don't want to sort of relax with the concentration and go, oh, I know where I am. Oh, now I can sort of like chill out, because that's where we're going to make the big mistake. Have a look here. This is a one-way system gyratory, massive roundabout. Effectively, we've got 1, 2, 3, 5 lanes. We're just going to be turning left using the left lane, so that's fine for us. And then keeping that distance from the vehicle in front if we're having to come to a stop. So what you'll find with these videos, what you'll find in my videos, is I keep repeating lots and lots of things again and again. If you watch the series, you'll go, oh, yeah, he said that in the last one, he said that in the last one. Because it's a routine. And when you're at work, when you're doing whatever hobby you do, you find that you end up doing a routine. Is the crossing clear? It is clear. You'll end up finding that you do a routine. And you want to build up a routine in your riding which has got checks and balances and safeties. So before you make any action, you always do something. You always check that it's safe. Yeah? Before you accelerate, check your mirrors. Great, and then you can go. Before you brake, check your mirrors, and then you can slow down. Before you indicate, that's an action. Check your mirrors. Yeah? So there's always got these checks in there. But once you make it routine, once you ingrain it in your body, it just becomes so much easier. You should begin to recognize now we're coming back. We were on this road before. We're coming back to the test center. We have actually been down this road, but we're going to go a slightly different route to get back to the test center. But yeah, definitely build up that routine on your own bike. Okay, build up the routine on your 125. I cannot tell you how invaluable it is to build up that routine on your 125. The more you can do on your 125 whilst riding for your CBT, the easier it's going to be when it comes to the full license. Nice and clear. I promise you. I've had students that have done like 2,000 miles on their 125 over 2 years. That's 1,000 miles a year. That's nothing. And they're terrible, or not terrible, but they just struggle. It's really hard. It's a really hard jump for them to do. And then I have students that have been riding on their 125. My brother, for example, he rode a 125 for like 6 years. And then when it came to him doing his full license, he's on a ZX6 now. When it came to him doing his full license, super easy, because he had those habits ingrained in his body. Also, I was like, listen, bruv, if you're going to do it, and you're my brother, you can do it properly. So the way that I am teaching you guys now was exactly how I taught him. Watch out for this. We're coming back to the test center. Literally, we've got one turn and we're there. Have a look at this. Look at the size of that keep clear box. Yeah, now there isn't enough room. There is now. There wasn't enough room for a motorbike. So the keep clear box goes from here to there so that lorries can come out of that junction, okay, and use the whole arc of the road. So be careful of that. If you stop in this keep clear box, serious fault. So think about that. Yeah, really think about that. Look at this van here. He's not thought about, well, he has thought about it in order to turn right. But do you see what sort of problems he's created by doing that? Now, that won't affect our test. His bad driving won't affect our test. We just have to be mindful when it comes to the green. Let's see what this lorry does to get around that corner. And hopefully you'll see what I mean. Oh, doesn't need to use it. Okay. So here we've got a crest. It is two-way, but there'll only be one flow of traffic at any one time. We're turning right here, turning right. And then we can make our way back into the test area. Oh, it's not 10, it's actually 5 miles an hour. Now, the examiner is not going to worry about doing 5 miles an hour here. This is private land after all. So just a reasonable speed. I would say do your 20s around here. You know, here I'm doing 16 miles an hour. How much can I actually see? So the 16 kind of makes sense. Got that lorry forcing us out onto the wrong side of the road. Oncoming van. Do you see what I mean about you've just coming back, you've just done the whole test, you're a little bit nervous, you don't want to mess it up just here. Nice. And then I'm going to be a little bit cheeky and I'm actually going to go on to the side. Okay, cool. And then that would be the end of your test. So as a test area, super easy. Yeah, there's only a few little bits that are a problem. Probably an 8. Now, I didn't go on to the A40. Maybe I'll come back and do one where we go into the A40. That can be a little bit more of an issue. But I'm going to give this an 8 for the area and a 1 for the centre. Hopefully I can come back next summer and the centre will be nice and new and all that kind of stuff. If you've liked what you've seen here, please hit the like button. If you like this kind of stuff, if you have any questions, if you want me to go anywhere, if you want me to do any specific things, write in the comments below and then I will do my best to make that video so then we can all learn together, really, because that's what this is all about. Anyway, peace, love, keep riding.